off opening the new Toscano Family Ice Forum this past weekend. Great atmosphere, great crowd, tough game versus Northeastern. Heading into another tough Hockey East matchup versus UMass home and home. Want to get your thoughts as we head out to UMass Friday. Welcome them to Toscano Saturday.
Yeah, well, this week it seems like it's been back to normal. Last week was certainly a hectic week with the opening of the rink, and I can't thank all the people that worked so hard to help us pull that night off. With the exception of the result, I thought it was a fabulous night. The energy in the building and the environment that was created here was like exactly the type of college atmosphere you want in a hockey rink. So I was pleased with that. I thought that we played pretty well. Obviously the special teams, we lost the special teams game and had an untimely turnover, but I thought we did create a lot of chances and, for the most part, played a pretty strong hockey game. We just didn't get the result we wanted. So I know this week against UMass is going to be, I think Greg is certainly always has his teams prepared. They suffocate you all over the ice in all three zones. They look to suffocate you. You've always had solid goaltending and great special teams. I think their power play is clicking around 30%. So we're going to have to play disciplined hockey and play very structurally sound in all three zones.
All right, we'll open it up for questions. Go ahead, Daniel.
What do you have to do to meld those good performances you had your last two games and take those, but then also get wins out of them? What's the next step there?
I think the hardest thing to do in our sport, more so maybe than any other sport, is to focus on the result. Because, in a lot of sports, you can play like we did last week and 95% of the time you're going to win. Hockey is just one of those sports where, there's a goaltender that's a factor. There's certain things that, you can play really well and lose a hockey game. I'm more concerned with us continuing to play really well. And I think if we continually outshoot opponents 2-1 and outgrade A them 2-1, you're going to win more hockey games than you lose. And those are the things, Dan, that we have to continue to focus on.
We'll head over to you, Joe.
Thanks. Morning, Cav. How are you?
Good morning, Joe. I'm great. Thanks.
How did you like Ryan with Nick and Chase?
I thought that they created some great offensive chances. They were the second goal we scored, I thought was great hockey. We got the puck in behind their defenseman. We kicked it out to the point, got a puck to the net, retrieved it, kicked it back out again, had traffic and got a deflection and a goal. And, I think that's, the type of hockey we want to play. We want to be able to wear down teams in their defensive zone and make them play defense. And we did that without compromising. We played great offense and we played on our toes without compromising our structure defensively. And that's something that we want to continue to do. I thought they did a good job with that throughout the game.
What makes UMass's power play so good?
Well, you got two elite players in Ryan Ufko and Scott Morrow up top for one. They're just, probably two of the most prolific offensive defensemen in our league. So it's a double-edged sword. You try to take away Ufko and Morrow's going to hurt you. And they're excellent at getting pucks down to the net. And then their forwards do a good job reading off of them. So they space you out pretty well and they find the open man.
Thanks.
Randy, we'll head over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, Cav. How you doing today?
I'm great, Randy. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Good.
Hey, I wondered, now with some time practicing at Toscano and one game under your belt, is there anything we could look for that, plays interesting? Maybe how the puck comes off the end walls, anything like that that you kind of noticed?
No, I didn't really notice anything in the game that was unusual. At the Freitas, if the puck went around by the Zamboni, you knew it was going to kick out, like those types of things. And the glass was, you couldn't rim a puck there around the glass because it could kick back out. So I didn't see anything unusual like that. It just seemed like a normal, like NHL size rink to me, that I didn't find any idiosyncrasies yet that I could point to answer your question.
That's a beautiful thing, I guess. How about to be able to get, you referenced it right at the top, but to be able to get back into the routine of a hockey schedule, back, home and home, and even next weekend is kind of in that kind of rhythm. How important is rhythm, and how do you approach it going down the stretch?
To some extent, I think it's important, but I think great teams, it doesn't matter whether they're playing one game on a weekend or two games. You find a way to compete and bring your very best every night. So, yes, is it nice to play Friday, Saturday, take Sunday off, and go Monday, Tuesday, like get into our weekly rhythm? Sometimes that's nice, but throughout, playoffs are going to come, and you might have to play on a Wednesday night and then play on a Sunday.
Right.
You get to the NCAA tournament, you might be playing at 6 o'clock one day and 2 o'clock the next. You have to be able to, the great teams line up and they play whenever they're told to play.
And finally, often a lot is made of, the BCs and the BUs and the Northeasterns with the rich programs, but like, how cool is it to have a border battle between Massachusetts and Connecticut? You've played some really meaningful games over the last few years, and now to have both of these games on campus, UMass, UConn, if you could just kind of talk about the head-to-head matchup between the two, state schools.
Yeah, I think it's always been a pretty good rivalry. I don't know if they consider us their rival. They might consider Lowell their rival. I'm not sure. In our league, I think, BC and BU are definitely rivals, and Maine and New Hampshire are definitely rivals. It's something, I think, Randy, that's got to be created, and it's going to have us playing them in the championship last year. If we play them again in the playoffs, that's what starts to ignite a rivalry. But yeah, we're two schools that are pretty close and have had some great games over the past few years.
Thanks, Cavanaugh. See you Saturday. Looking forward to it.
Sounds good, Randy. Thank you.
We'll head over to you, Joe.
Thanks. Hey, Cav, can you talk about the biggest improvement that Matty Wood has made from the start of the season to now? He didn't seem to have hit a wall, and he seems to be playing better now than he has all year.
I think his compete and strength on pucks, Joe. That was my biggest concern for him coming in here. I knew he had great skill. I knew he could shoot the puck. I know he has elite playmaking ability. My biggest concern for him was, how is he going to be able to handle playing against guys that are physically older, more mature, and stronger than he is? And it has not been a factor in games. He's really done an excellent job of being able to compete for pucks, protect pucks, fend off a defender to make a play. So that's an area where I think he's really improved and surprised me in some ways.
Great. Thanks, Cav. See you Saturday.
All right, Joe.
We'll head over to you, Daniel.
What about those freshmen that play on your fourth listed line there? Sorry, blanked on them. Tabor Heaslip, Tristan Frazier, and Ryan Tattle. How have you seen?
Yep.
Yeah, how have you seen those guys come along?
I thought the third period of the Northeastern game on Saturday night was probably their best period they've played in a long time. I thought they really gave us energy and created a lot of momentum, played down the other team's end. I know they gave our bench a huge lift, so we certainly need that from them going forward.
Is that just what you need from them? Or are they just guys that if they bring you energy and they kind of shift the game in your direction, that's all you need, where you don't necessarily need to count on them for goal scoring because they're so young?
I wouldn't go that far, because earlier in the year we were getting production out of those lines. And I think when you get that secondary scoring, it certainly helps, especially when you get tight games and playoffs. So I'm not going to pigeonhole them into just being a momentum defensive line. I think they're a line that we need to continue to, just my expectations are with all the lines, that, you know, when you get out there, keep the momentum in our favor, create scoring chances, play stingy defense, and, you know, pass the baton to the next line, give them the energy and momentum from your shift.
Then it's been 8 games since Ryan Twerberg scored. What do you have to do to get him going again?
Well, I don't have to do anything. I think he has to continue to shoot pucks. And sometimes it becomes a mindset. You know, I'm more concerned with him playing a 200-foot game. You know, I remember, you know, one of the things that when I coached Brian Giunta that I was so impressed about with him was that we won a national title and he did not have one goal in the NCAA tournament, but he was probably one of our most effective players because he was creating, he was playing great defense. You could count on him every shift he was out there, and all he cared about was the team winning. And I think if Ryan just focuses on playing a 200-foot game, which he does, that's important to him, the goals will come.
Still good health-wise?
Yes. Yes.